You think the Russians are good at spreading misinformation? Wait until you see what political groups in the U.S. are up to.
Denver 7's Megan Lopez tonight on propaganda-fueled websites masquerading as local news.
In the world of news, there's no shortage of sources. From old-fashioned newspapers
Yeah, you see no parking
to broadcast to the days of digital journalism. With so many sources, separating fact from fiction can be confusing. A recent study from the Tow Center for Digital Journalism at Columbia University found 1,200 websites claiming to be local news with questionable backgrounds, all run by Metric Media. 16 of them claim to be based in Colorado, with different names but a similar look that have popped up during an election year. Their contact pages lead to an address in Delaware, a website for their parent company doesn't work, and our emails to contact them were kicked back. It's a phenomenon known as pink slime journalism, where the stories aren't patently false but slanted and sometimes paid for by interested parties. On the websites themselves, mostly stories with Metric Media staff or press release bylines. On the ones that did name reporters, we found they were freelancers, not even in Colorado. Some articles like this one on Governor Polis were duplicated from other states, copied word for word with only the name changed. The About page on each site says they're committed to, quote, objective data-driven information without political bias, and that they provide 100% original reporting. But that's not true. Many of the articles are simply rewrites of reputable reporters' work.
It's alarming because they look so real.
That's Representative Lisa Cutter, who last year helped pass a law to teach media literacy in schools.
It's not about teaching anybody how to think or what to think. It's just teaching them how to look for information with a critical eye.
And there are ways to spot misleading articles or news sites.
When I dug around a little more is that they don't have any kind of editorial policy or guidelines. But what I did find, for example, was that Scripps, your home company, your parent company, has a 24-page ethics policy.
For MSU Denver lecturer William Huddy,
there are 3 rules that really apply today that have applied through time.
It's about being a conscious news consumer.
Number 1 is the authenticity of the source. Is your information source authentic? Can it be trusted?
Number 2, fidelity. And number 3, your gut feeling. Does the story seem sketchy?
And not relying on just one information source. Those days are over.
You can also check out the reporters. On Denver 7, for instance, there's a link to my bio, my professional Facebook, and my Twitter, as well as a direct way to reach me. The bottom line is, whether it's an election year or not, don't believe everything you read, even if it appears to be coming from a news source.
We can't just hide our heads. We have to be aware.
We're responsible to know that those sources are good, solid sources.
Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
6 days until the election, nearly 2 million Coloradans already have voted. 2.8 million total Coloradans voted in all of 2016. Jefferson County leading the pack, 244,000 ballots submitted, and you can register to vote right up until Election Day, actually on Election Day, but from here on out, you should use a drop box instead of mail.
ABC News Election Night coverage begins at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. And listen, if you have an extra TV or a computer, turn your Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV to Denver 7 for nonstop 360 coverage of the local races and ballot initiatives. That all begins at 6 o'clock. Of course, you can also watch on our website.